It's up to you, New York, New York.
How we doing? Welcome back to another episode of the Richie Hicks Jr. Sports Podcast here on Facebook and YouTube. I am your host, Richie, riding solo for now. Idris might be joining me in a bit. We'll see how it goes. Want to hit on the New York Yankees' dominant victory, dominant sweep in Fenway Park against the hated Boston Red Sox. My ESPN feed just comes over. Are the Knicks in trouble? You bet your ass they are. 2 consecutive 1-point losses for the New York Knicks. Definitely disappointing to say the least, as it seemed like the team did not even wake up until the fourth quarter. And of course, we're going to hit on NFL draft results of day 1, as well as a look ahead to tonight. And we're going to start there. NFL draft. New York Giants, in some people's estimations, a little bit of a surprise, as the 2 players they took were not commonly mocked to the Giants. But I also don't think in most mock drafts Arvell Reese fell to 5. The Giants get the standout hybrid defensive star from Ohio State University. And I'm excited about this addition to the defense because Coach John Harbaugh can deploy him in a lot of different ways. You can put him on the edge. You can put him on the second layer. You can put him in the dirt. There's a lot of things you could do with this young player, and I wholeheartedly find him to be a weapon. Now, I must admit, when pick 10 rolled around, I thought the Giants were going to go Caleb Downs there, as there is obviously a team need for an upgrade at the safety position. But when you consider that CeCe Mayagoa out of the University of Miami is sitting there, now granted at the collegiate level he's a tackle, but immediately in his career, given the Giants' need at guard, I think he's going to go on the interior at least for year 1, as Jermaine Illuminor and Andrew Thomas are still the starters. But the reason this is such a good value pick, Andrew Thomas has had a problem staying healthy. Jermaine Illuminor gets injured every once in a while. You need that depth. But you also need a guy that can start right now, because it certainly shouldn't be dependent on if Evan Neal can finally catch on. So in that regard, I think the Giants did well, keeping it in the NFC East. Philadelphia Eagles, very good draft for them, in my opinion. Them and the Dallas Cowboys do something that's becoming more commonplace in the NFL these days. They're making interdivision trades. Dallas kind of got lucky in the sense that they get the Buckeye, Caleb Downs, definitely a defense that needed a fine-tune on the back end. Philadelphia gets themselves a potential replacement for A.J. Brown, as a disgruntled wide receiver has been linked to the New England Patriots, among other teams. So we're going to find out exactly what the Eagles do day two, but Howie Roseman is always cooking up something, and he's always had a propensity for not only drafting well, but manipulating the salary cap. A really strong day in general for the NFC East. Sonny Styles is a Washington Commander, definitely a player that Dan Quinn would fawn over. And, day two, my team, the Giants, only one pick. They're picking at 37, which is the fifth pick tonight. I personally believe that the Giants may very well consider trading back to get more draft capital to have more picks today. Now, assuming the Giants stay at 37, a couple of names that I'm considering. Caden McDonald out of Ohio State. Really good run stopper and an immediate replacement for the recently departed Dexter Lawrence. Dexter Lawrence, of course, is a Cincinnati Bengal now, and the Giants received the overall 10 pick. Emmanuel McNeil Warren is a safety. They didn't get Downs. This is another chance to get a premium safety if he's on the board. And you have a litany of cornerback options if the Giants want to go that route. Will they go receiver? It's possible. Louisville's Chris Bell, definitely a name to keep an eye on in that area around 37. But most experts gave the Giants an A+ on pick 1, an A- on pick 2. It's a strong day 1. I'm not going to lie. I wanted Caleb Downs, but I have mocked Emmanuel McNeil Warren on many a draft. But I must admit, it appears that the New York Giants are really buying into the physical nature of what they're trying to build their program to be. And I do love their second pick in that regard, because this is a guy that moves people around against their will. This is a guy that is very powerful. And when you consider that they bring in Patrick Ricard, one of the few remaining fullbacks, traditional fullbacks, they're going to be running the rock a lot. But you want to be able to run the rock with your backfield, not necessarily with Jackson Dart taking unnecessary hits. Now, I'm not saying that Dart's not going to run this year. We had an Odell Beckham Jr. visit recently. I do believe whether or not the Giants are satisfied with their receiving room at the end of this entire draft will play a huge part in whether or not they do sign Odell, because after all, they did bring in Calvin Austin as well as Darnell Mooney. I think the Giants are going defense today, assuming they stay at 37. But like I said, it wouldn't be the worst idea to trade back. Still a lot of talent on this board, certain guys that were figured to go in round 1 that have fallen into round 2. And we shall see how it plays out today. New York Yankees, want to get back to them. Cam Schlittler, just a phenomenal performance. As for the second consecutive time, he has really given the business to the Boston Red Sox, his hometown team. And he goes 8 strong as the Yankees complete the sweep of the Red Sox. And what's encouraging about this, it's not so much that the Yankees are still not struggling at the dish. They're still having problems getting runners in when they should. There was a bases loaded situation that could have really blown up the game, and the Yankees were unable to capitalize. But when your pitching is this good right now, and I keep reiterating on my shorts and anytime I talk about this team, no Carlos Rodon, no Garrett Cole, but you're getting it from Luis Gil. You're getting it from Will Warren. Lately, Weathers has been good. You're getting it from Max Fried. Cam Schlittler pitching like an ace. This is a team that's going to be tough to beat. And when you consider all the arms that the New York Yankees have, particularly when these 2 starters come back, you can have a lot of different mix and go situations where you could really bolster your bullpen from within, where guys like Weathers, guys like Luis Gil, because of their swing and miss stuff, could enter the bullpen and be very, very effective. New York Mets started a winning streak yesterday after their horrendous losing streak. The Mets now have won 2 in a row. They welcome in the Rockies today. The Yankees are on the road in Houston. Their new forever rivals, given their history in the playoffs over the past 6-7 seasons. But the Astros are struggling right now. Yankees currently hold the best record in the American League, and only a game off the pace of being tied for best record in all of baseball with the San Diego Padres and Los Angeles Dodgers. So, definitely everything still kind of just falling into place with baseball. Hitting is still going to take time to catch up to the pitching, particularly as we close out the month of April. And speaking of closeout, if the New York Knicks do not win Game 4, they're going to lose this series. And it's going to be a mammoth disappointment when you consider the championship aspirations coming into this season. Jalen Brunson didn't really have much explaining going on with the media after an offensive breakdown in the final possession of the game. Very disappointing. This is the second time in as many games the Knicks not only lose by a point, but look completely lost on the offensive side of the ball with a chance to win. This series could easily be 2-1. The Knicks should have never lost Game 2. But similarly to that eerie feeling that I caught in the Indiana ECF series last year, when the Knicks squander a big lead at the Garden, bad things tend to happen. No excuses for this team. It took forever and a day for Mikal Bridges and Josh Hart to pretty much do anything offensively. I want to see more Jordan Clarkson. This is a guy that puts the ball in the bucket. The Knicks need to pull out all the stops in Game 4, because if they leave Atlanta down 3-1, they may extend it to 6. But it's going to be very, very hard to win 3 consecutive games. It's only happened a handful of times in league history. And I'm putting it on the captain, Jalen Brunson. They made you the captain for a reason. Captain Clutch, they call you. It's time to be that. It's time to elevate your game. It's time to make your teammates better. And it's time to win a really hard game on the road. Because I commend the Atlanta Hawks, CJ McCollum in particular. I commend their efforts. But I'm going to keep it a buck. The New York Knicks are a better team than the Atlanta Hawks. So losing this series would be a massive fail on many levels. We got Yankees in Houston tonight. NFL Draft Day 2, see if the Giants move back and gain a little extra draft capital. And the Knicks got a lot to think about ahead of Saturday's game against the Atlanta Hawks. If you haven't already, please make it a point to like and subscribe to the channel, the Richie Hicks Jr. Sports Podcast on YouTube. We will be back during the weekend with more announcements to come for our next show, and I'm sure I'll have a little more company for that one. Just some thoughts on the brain as I'm just kind of getting my own day started. Kind of overwhelming with all the sports stuff going on all at one time. I had all the TVs on, flicking back and forth. A Knicks victory would have made it a perfect night, but you can't always have everything you want. Knicks, time to remove head from your backsides. Let's go. I'm out. Have a great weekend, everyone.